Welcome to the back pew. We in this country have a strong sense of ownership. We really value property rights. We value that we are each our own king or queen of our household. So when we hear Jesus talking with the chief priests and the elders about a vineyard owner who leases out his property to tenants, we can understand. When we hear the story about how these tenants showed such disrespect and dishonor to the landowner, we feel the frustration until we recognize what Jesus is really saying. And maybe we are okay with that because when we go, well, Jesus is talking about those chief priests and the elders. But he's not. Jesus' story is really a story that reflects humanity. You see, God is the one who has created all things, and all things belong to God. That means that God allows us to use what we have. What we have is not forever. At least I've noticed that after someone dies, their stuff goes somewhere else. It gets redistributed. For example, what happens to the pots and pans that Grandma had? Well, they end up in one of the other family homes, or they end up at Goodwill or Salvation Army or someplace. But we have a strong sense of ownership nonetheless. But God's the one who gives us all of this to use and to steward. In the story, Jesus lifts that up for us. And Jesus makes it very clear of what God is looking for. God wants what belongs to God. God wants to see God's people producing fruits of the kingdom. So in other words, this means Jesus is getting at that being a follower of Jesus Christ, belonging to God, is not just, it's all about what I got and I can do whatever I want, but rather we have been loved by God so as to love others. We have been loved by God so as to be as Christ to each other. That means our way of life is meant to reflect God's way, God's kingdom. That's what we're going to be talking about this week at First Lutheran Church Galveston. We're going to be digging in and exploring. So what does this mean for us? And what might it mean for how we live? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Indeed, try to get out and enjoy some of the fall. But do come to church. Saturday, 5:30, Sunday, 10 a.m. Faith formation, 8:45 Sunday morning. See you here. If the back pew's been meaningful, please pass it along. Have a blessed rest of your week.